Oh, hi.
Hey, aren't you Jim Herrington, the photographer?
I am Jim Herrington, the photographer.
And this is a world-famous climbing area.
We're here in the sad boulders of Owens Valley near Bishop.
Now, you're coming out with a book soon that is kind of all about the experience of climbing rocks like these, right?
I'm working on a photography book about the legends of climbing, and it's going to be called The Climbers. I started this project in 1998, and it was supposed to be about Sierra Nevada climbers, and that's all I had thought it out. I wanted to meet the old guys from the 30s, 40s of the Sierra Nevada. And the first ones I got were Glenn Dawson and Jules Eichhorn, who had done the first descent of the east face of Mount Whitney in 1931. And that was an important climb because it was a big wall for California and the country probably at the time. And they had just ushered in using a rope and belay techniques on this climb. And they climbed with the infamous Norman Clyde on this route. And so I wanted to meet them and come up and see what they were like. I didn't think of a book project at that time. So here I am 18 years later, almost to the day where it started, talking about this book. So I photographed quite a few of the climbers around the Sierra Nevada. And then I got a gentleman named Bradford Washburn in Boston, Massachusetts. And suddenly I discovered that maybe this is a book about American climbers from this era. And I photographed a few more, and then I started going to Europe. And I got the great Pierre Mazoud and Kurt Diemberger and climbers of the Alps. And I thought, well, this is turning into a project about all of the climbers of this era around the world. I was doing this all alone. I would do it when I had some money and I could travel. Almost everybody agreed in varying levels of enthusiasm. There were a couple that I didn't get. There were a lot I didn't get, but there were two rejections that are memorable. One, Wojtek Kurtyka, the great Polish climber from the 70s. And he gave me a return email suggesting that this March of Death, this parade of the weak and the falling apart, he could not take part in. And he signed it Friendly Wojtek. Because, you know, I mean, things have changed now. The world is very connected, but these gentlemen and ladies that I photographed, you know, if you go to Scotland and photograph Hamish McGuinness, you got a true Scotsman,
Right.
of the tradition of Scottish climbing. And Joe Brown, the English climber, and Sir Christian Bonington, these were hardcore Brits of a certain British climbing tradition. And the same with the Italians. You know, you went to these places, and not only was I meeting them, but finding this culture and the way climbing changed. Climbing was an underground thing when these people were doing it. It was not something you saw on a Sprite commercial on TV or on a Twitter account. It was a kind of a punk rock thing to do. Light left?
Not much.